So anyway, this guy's been freaking out, like literally freaking out about Charlie Kirk. He's been very upset about old Kirk. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey everyone, I'm at California State.
Hang on a second. Pull this up the right way. Dorky Parker. This kid oozes femininity.
Hey everyone, I'm at California State University Northridge, and there's supposed to be a Turning Point event today where Charlie Kirk is going to debate some college students. And seemingly, it's a good day to show up since I live in LA and he's been dodging debating me and Dean since he said he would debate us after the Jubilee episode and after the election. And now he's gone radio silent and won't debate us. So I decided to show up to one of his...
So these guys refuse to do moderated debates. They just won't do them. They just refuse. It's because they can't filibuster and click the mute button. You'll see guys like Dean will fly out to debate that chick, but won't fly out to debate with me because they're a bunch of cowards, essentially. Not even essentially, they're just cowards, right? And they suck. And if they have anybody on the other end who can eviscerate them, they don't want anything to do with it. I don't think that either of these guys would do a moderated debate with Charlie Kirk. I think that they would lose. Now, engagement is engagement. LOL, embrace the hate watchers. I do embrace them. And I also kick him out of here because I think it's funny.
Events. So can't wait to debate him today. Good luck, Charlie. Saw some people with red shirts. We think that they might be from Turning Point. So we're going to go follow them and see. Jackpot. We found him.
Wow, gee. I can't believe it. How, I mean, that looks like it would be really hard to find. Giant tents surrounded by people with red shirts. Oof. I'm glad that they were able to sneak into this Turning Point USA event. Boy, I don't know how they ever would have found this on a small college campus. How is this possible? How did this happen? Somehow they were able to use their ninja-like stealth skills in order to infiltrate this event filled with pop-up tents.
We found him. We found him.
Wow, they found him. Yeah, you can see that they're really trying to keep this under wraps, these Turning Point guys. You know, they don't have signs everywhere and literally trying to bring people in, but okay.
Oh my god, dude. Overwhelming cringe. The last thing that I needed was to be the first person in line, so when Charlie got there, he knew that I was there waiting for him. Luckily, the people there working for him had no clue who I was, so I easily got it in and got first in the line.
Wow. Wow.
Alright, for sure.
Yeah, amazing detective skills from Batman over here. You know, the world's greatest detectives. We found him. We found the event, which is being advertised all over this campus. We found it. Well, amazing detective sleuthery from our good friend Parker over here.
You'll be able to ask questions and stuff.
All right, he'll be super excited to see me first.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Okay.
Yeah, total cell phone. He's like, they didn't even know who I was. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't.
While we were waiting, all these people showed up behind us that were ready to watch me destroy Charlie in this debate.
No hate, no fear. Charlie Kirk's our local. No hate, no fear. Charlie Kirk's our local.
Doing good.
Charlie Kirk's our local here.
We're like trying to get the deaf people to see all the interpreters, so I've yet to see or hear.
USA! USA!
Dude, oh my.
Well, at least we know that leftists don't sound completely unhinged, you know? least we know that the Trump derangement syndrome is not alive and well, where there's always going to be one guy who screeches so loudly that you can't hear what anybody else says. By the way, how do they even do that? I don't even know. I'm not even sure how men can scream like that. I can't do it. Like, that would plug up my ears to scream like that. It would plug up my ears and give me a headache. I don't even know how they're capable of doing that. Cobble for $20. Appreciate it. Very kind of you. Do I like Kirk or no? I like some of the things he says. I think that a lot of the TPUSA broads are a bunch of feminists, though. Oh boy. Now Parker doesn't seem so sure of himself. He's looking around like, oh gee, what's going on here? What's going on around here? Thank you for the gifted membership, by the way. Very kind of you.
All right, we have a familiar face. You go to school here, Parker?
No, I don't.
You know, where do you go to school?
I don't go to school anymore. I graduated.
With a degree in stupidity.
So you traveled from where to be here?
From Los Angeles.
Okay, welcome. We have a familiar face from Jubilee. Parker, welcome, and the mic is yours.
You know, I remember when Parker first started on TikTok, or at least a few years ago, he didn't look like this. He had like a clean-cut haircut, right? And he wasn't quite so unpleasant to talk to. He wasn't always freaking out. Being a leftist is not good for your health. I say this as a chronic smoker, right? Being a leftist is just not good for your health. He's pasty, right? His hair's all messed up. He always looks disheveled. And he's always screaming. He's always freaking the out.
Do you think that Elon was like saluting or doing a Nazi salute?
Well, you didn't say hello, man.
Oh, sorry. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Parker. How are you? No, Elon Musk was not doing the salute.
Okay, will you do it?
Yes, as I did it actually at USC. I said, my name was Elon Musk, and I love all of you in this crowd here today.
Can you put your hand on your chest and then do it us?
I just did it.
That's not what he did.
Okay, so let's do it again, Parker. Can you do it with me?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think it's a Nazi salute.
Well, mirror it with me. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad from the bottom of my heart you are here, and thank you all for being here today.
Now, to kind of give, I hate giving Parker any credit at all, but it's kind of a weasel, right, on Charlie's part. That is definitely not what Musk did. It's definitely not what Musk did. Though I still don't think he was giving out some salute at all. I don't think he was giving out any type of salute. I think that he is just a socially awkward tard sometimes. And he was saying from my heart to you. But he's not actually doing it, right?
I'm going to show you a video of this doing it.
Parker, you're not done. You traveled all the way from LA to ask that question.
That's not the only question. I can ask you about other things.
We only get like one other question because we got a long line, but okay.
You think all points in history was wrong?
You asked the same question at Jubilee, but yes, you did actually. So what is my answer?
Well, you'd have to say yes, because in Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, God says you can own people as slaves and pass them down to your children as inherited property for life.
Okay.
In Exodus 21, 20 through 21, God says you can beat those slaves so far as they recover after a day or two.
Just like Reddit Atheism 101. He does the thing, you know. I thought that would come up last night with Peterson. I have an amazing argument for that, by the way, and just would wreck this whole argument in seconds. But yeah, this is it. Like, this is his big grand finale. As he shows up and he asks him about Elon Musk and then about because of Leviticus. Would you go back on Jubilee and out of Harry, Dean, and Parker, which is the most insufferable? Parker for sure. Well, Harry's actually pretty insufferable too.
So let's talk. We want to talk about chattel versus what it actually. So what is the word in Hebrew?
I don't know about
It's Eved, right? Where are my Jewish friends in the audience, by the way? Yeah. Am I right? Is it Eved in Hebrew? Yeah. Right? So what the Torah did was the first ever historical document that led to the abolition of. Do you know that were actually mentioned in the Ten Commandments.
You want to respond to those two verses that I just mentioned?
Well, yes, and by the way, do you know in the New Testament, which is the completion of the entire Bible, is explicitly said as evil and immoral. So,
Well, Parker, unfortunately, is not doing actually that well here. So, unfortunately, he can't just mute the mic, so Charlie Kirk's allowed to give context. And I don't think Parker likes it when people give context to things, right? He just has these two Bible passages. He has no idea what they mean, no idea the context behind them. He has no clue. And he doesn't have his mute button. So he actually has to listen to the context. Man, that's a bad day for Parker. It's morning in Australia, so thank you for keeping me company on this Lou, my dude. You're very welcome. Happy to do it.
We have to it's okay though. But back then, with the New Testament, was it okay back then?
well, we need to understand in the Levitical law, right, that it was not that it was condoning, right, it was making the steps forward towards the abolition of, which you can even acknowledge that Christianity helped abolish, right? You know who Wilberforce is? William
Exodus
Wilberforce?
21, 21.
Who is
God says you shall not be punished if you
Hold on,
beat
this is
them
important.
so far as they recover after day or two.
Hold on a
So you're
second.
saying that they shall not be punished back
That
then?
is taken out of context.
No, it's not. That's the verse. We'll read it.
Who is William Wilberforce?
Read the verse. Go read
So
it.
William Wilberforce was a Christian
Now he has to listen to the context again. Poor Parker. That's the question. What is really? Yeah, it's a good point.
minister who used the Bible as a justification to abolish. Another Levitical law says you shall never kidnap another individual and bring them to your land, which is otherwise known as chattel. So anybody who ever used the Bible to justify was going against the scripture. Finally, we as Christians believe, finally, no it's not, the Bible has,
Then what does Leviticus 25, 40, 46 say?
again, as I would say, it was talking to a primitive people that led to the abolition of which it did so successful. But we also, as Christians, believe that we are all set free in Christ Jesus, and that we are all set free. And I hope, Parker, one day that you can give your life to Jesus, because you seem like someone that is seeking truth, and there is a God who loves you, and He sent His only Son, Jesus Christ. Whoever gives his life to Jesus will live forever. Last question, Parker.
So if they beat their back then, insofar as they recover after day or two, they shall not be punished?
No, again, taking the verse in context of the times and what it led to, which was the abolition of, it was talking to a primitive people where was the norm and it was accepted, and that never before had anyone even challenged the idea of
Around it,
finally.
answer the question.
No, I'm talking about it at it directly because it's a far more
Shall they not be
complex,
punished back then?
far more complex than what you're getting at. And you would have to acknowledge the Bible led to the abolition of. Parker,
I
thank
want
you
you-
so
I know
much
you
for
wanna
being
address
here.
that, but you wanna
Let's
address
get to some of our students here today.
won't answer the
Thank you, Parker, so much.
It's not gonna look good for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. The Bible led towards the abolition of
But they shall
an
not be punished,
irrefutable
right?
fact.
So shall they be punished or not?
Of course, as it says in the New Testament, that
So you
slavery is
contradicted
wrong.
Exodus 28
Thank you,
to 21.
Parker. We'll get to the next
disagree with
question.
Exodus?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Parker.
Of course.
I hope you'll give your life to Jesus. Thank you. Can't hear what you're saying. Thank you. Next question.
Hopefully you and Parker can get like a round 2 debate. I enjoyed the Jubilee video.
Thank you. We're good, Parker. Thank you.
You don't want to debate later?
Guys, have to.
No, we're good. I got others. You don't go to school here.
No, I meant like later, a different day on the podcast.
I can't hear you.
A different day on the podcast. Let's debate.
Thanks.
No?
We're good.
You're scared?
I only debate people in good faith. You came up here.
How am I not
you
in good
asked
faith?
2 sloppy questions. We're done.
How are
Thank
they
you, Parker.
sloppy?
You seem like someone that is seeking truth.
It's really funny that Parker demands that people debate with him, right? And then calls them cowards when they won't. But of course, when yours truly asks Parker to come out for moderated debate, he runs and hides under his covers. Looked like he went up to an event and he had a couple of weak gotcha questions. And Kirk basically said, get out of here. I answered your questions. I'm not going to debate with you because you don't debate in good faith. See you later. And that was the end of it. It doesn't seem like Parker got much. And by the way, you know, the crashing the event thing, right? I think that only works for a few select personalities who can pull it off. Guys like Alex Stein can pull that off. A few other guys can pull that off. Parker can't really pull it off. He's not a charismatic person. You know, he doesn't, not a lot of charisma for Parker. Boy, he's real excited about this.
What makes the MAGA movement?
Charlie Kirk just kicked me out of a Turning Point event for literally destroying him in this debate.
I figure I paused it at right at the right time. Literally destroyed him in this debate. What a dork. What a dork. Oh, it's a ton of cope. Ton of oh.
He was so embarrassed and he was caught off guard when I showed up as the first person at his Turning Point event at California State University North.
He didn't look like he was embarrassed, and he didn't really look like he was caught off guard. You know? It didn't look like either of those things.
Northridge for asking him very simple questions. Seemingly, he was the one who didn't want to engage in good faith, clearly because he didn't actually let me engage in any actual debate. The conversation lasted less than 5 minutes.
Then how did you destroy him in a debate? Boy, this guy just contradicted himself right away. Charlie Kirk kicked me out because I destroyed him in a debate. And then he goes on to say, can't make this up,
actually let me engage in any actual debate.